Hey, what is going on, everybody? This is Captain Hook Tree Climbing. Thank you guys for visiting the channel, for the continued support. I really appreciate you guys. Hope you all are having a great day. Thought I'd get on here and do a voiceover, a live voiceover for one of the upcoming videos here that I want to post on the channel. Give me a second here. So, just trying to put a video capture here so you guys can see my lovely face, my handsome face, Yeah. All right, give me a second here. All right, there we go. So I'm gonna put it down here in the corner. So, yeah, let's get into this video, man. So, this video, I titled it "Left is Removal with Hard Lessons and Scars to Last a Lifetime." I titled it that because this day was going smooth. It was really one of those really cool, just kind of hoorah kind of moments where everything is just kind of just flowing. Everything is going real smooth, real good, exactly how you want it. And just enough sketchy to make it fun, but not enough sketchy to make you think about your life or anything like that. You know what I mean? Or about your mortality. So that's why I decided to post this video, because this was the day that I caught the rigging rope across the neck, and it came right across my neck, right over here. And yeah, now I just got this big old scar right here that whenever I wear a t-shirt, anyone can see. So it's quite the scar. I don't know if I'm proud of it. Maybe I should be proud of it. I'm not ashamed of it, though, that's for sure. So I learned a really hard lesson this day. And basically, I guess the lesson was that I shouldn't try to make something work that is probably not going to work, and instead implement a solution just in case. And ever since this day, that's what I've done. I've kept true to that, and just try not to take any chances, man. Because this day, man, I caught that rope, and I was under the weight of that rope, the friction of it, and it just didn't feel good. It really made me contemplate, like, hey, man, am I gonna die here today? Like, I was in the basket, I was able to get out of it. Actually, a lot quicker than what it felt like. So running the video back, I'm able to see how I was able to quickly get out from underneath the weight of that rope, right? And the pressure. And it ended up working out pretty good. It worked out pretty good. And I was just, it was just like one of those, damn, man, like, what the hell just happened kind of moments. And you just like, just, I was just so stricken by like the whole thing. It was just like surreal. Like, wow, this really just happened to me. And not to mention, the carnage of it, the my skin got rubbed off pretty nasty, and I caught the rope for a few seconds. Just it was only a few seconds, and boy, did it feel like an eternity. It really felt like I was under there for like a good 20-30 seconds. Like, it felt like a while, and it really wasn't. So you guys can play back the video after it's posted, even in this voiceover here, and you can see exactly the events leading up to it. yeah, man, it was it's just it's just crazy, just absolutely ridiculous. And yeah, let's take a look at this. Let's run it back. Definitely post your comments, your questions, your input, your gripes in the comments below here in the live chat. If you guys are joining me, let me see if I get a live feed here for the live chat. See if I get a live chat here. And just give me a second here. Just gonna pull up the live chat just so that I can keep track of any of y'all. Sweet. A lot like Vegas. I see you, man. So, okay. Awesome. So, I got the live chat going, and now let's play the video. Let me know how the volume is, the video volume. Holy crap. Extension cords and snowmobiles. I don't mean to laugh, but wow. That's that's quite a situation there. To kind of just recapping what was done. So you see, I'm feeling pretty enthusiastic through at this point in the video, and everything is going pretty good, like pretty solid. Everything is going good. Rope Man was kind of on point this day. He's actually one of the trainees during this period in my career, one of the trainees I've dealt with, and redirect pulley right here. Okay, these whoopee slings on the Omni block, they're just absolute weapons. So if you guys don't know, you have to try it if you can afford it. I know they're expensive, but these whoopee slings on the Omni blocks is just so versatile, so easy to use. Um, Goodness, got so much good to say about it. So this is one of my go-to techniques right here. Um, Anchor it down below, and then stick the pulley in a crotch right above it like this. It's one of my favorite techniques. So these aren't like rings or anything like that, or like your regular block, because like a ring, you have to stick the rope through, you have to fish it through. You can't just open up the sheave and whatnot, so it's really easy, man. It makes your workflow real nice and smooth. I love it. All right, so staying clear, man. There you go. Bombs away. Stand clear is really like saying, without saying, get the hell out of the way. Yeah, man. YouTube is just trying to make money on me or for me. I don't know, on my own video. It's ridiculous. So yeah, that so leading up to the actual event, the wind was just picking up. It's just kind of gaining more and more momentum here as we go. And yeah, this is the 194 here, 194T. Modified the exhaust, and that's about it. But it beefs it up really good. Um, After I modified the exhaust, I had to play with the carburetor to kind of get the fueling right. So that's the only issue. Yeah, making good decisions, man. But this is really just another screw up video. Another video of me screwing up. So that daisy chain method there that I'm using, um, it's awesome because I'm able to just kind of take the end of that rope and just start tying it onto something without undoing the whole daisy chain or anything. And it comes apart all by itself. And so it's kind of just like a really quick way to just speed up your your workflow and whatnot. I use it when I'm in the trees, here and there. There was a point in time when I was using it like all the time. But yeah, it's pretty good, especially in the bucket. Oh yeah, one more thing about that saw is I'm noticing right now is that I was actually using a regular like a 14-inch bar that you would put on a Tool 1T. So it's got the thicker chain, the thicker bar. And so I guess that was kind of working, but eventually I realized that this saw is so much better with the Pico chain. And then along with that, the exhaust mod makes it a absolute like weapon, just really good. Yeah, this bucket, man, this lift, it's pretty slow. It's like a little turtle, you know. So there, since the wind is like pretty strong right now, the limitations as far as like sensors go are different. So depending on the input, like as far as like the sensors, how much wind there is and whatnot, you will be limited. Sometimes more, sometimes less. But yeah, it's kind of weird. Those sensors were always keeping me safe though. So partial bucket exit here. Yeah, this is totally gonna ruffle some feathers. Questionable practices here. I'm just reading the comments here. So I just picked up $50 practically new. They got changed the clutch and broke off the plastic piston stopper. Nice, man. Yeah, that 194, it's good, man. Just sounds like you got some work to do. Oh yeah, I see Vince DeCiccio from the UK. I think I pronounced that incorrectly. Sorry about that. So yeah, you want to love that Echo, man. I don't know. I think the Echoes they're interesting saws because usually Echoes, for me, I guess just like the ergonomics and whatnot, like the way that they handle as far as like the braking especially is weird for me. See, I'm a steel guy, and so it's got a big old brake on it, and the Echo has like this kind of like low profile type of brake on it, and it's kind of, I don't know, man. I don't know if I trust it so much, and I do want to like it as well, but like I don't know. There's just something about it that isn't totally kosher for me about it, you know? Just something about it I don't like. And so, yeah, unfortunate. Yeah, shout out to Billy Shoemate there. And so a lot like Vegas is putting together saws, man. You're like the saw mechanic over here. So yeah, that last limb there came off pretty good. That was some good stuff. Came off real nice, perfectly. Weaving in through stuff with this lift is kind of weird. It was always weird. I don't use one now. I haven't used one in a while, but Yeah, so we're gonna evacuate the butt. Tip's gonna go upwards. Nice. Yeah, I want to keep the collateral damage down here, and yeah. Lots of ambiguity there with the pivot point. Yeah, we're not doing linear programming, buddy. Talking about pivots. Oh gosh. Oh, another ad, man. Gotta love it. All right. I love it. Wow. Just totally defeating the rules right here. So this thing, that cut is basically on the back of this branch, you know? Nope. See, it didn't work. Tell me. Sometimes you just want to make something work. You know it's not going to work, but you just want to see if it will. You know what I mean? And so when it doesn't work, it comes as no surprise, but, it's just like you're mad anyway because it didn't work. It's really like ironic, just ridiculous. Oh yeah, yeah. Billy Shoemate, definitely agree with you. I've used my buddy's Echo, and the only other times I have used an Echo has been years ago, man. Like when I first started climbing, first started getting into the tree business. I was like 13 years old. It's probably the last time I used an Echo. Um, but more recently, I used my buddy's, and his was modified, and it has all the bells and whistles. It's tuned, it's ported, and God, that thing rips. It really is just. It's like in its own kind of ball game. Yeah. Yeah, and I think any modified saw for that matter is ridiculous. It's just awesome. My buddy also has a, hey, what is it, a 460? It's modified, ported. Uh, got the whole port and polish thing going, and it has a West Coast Customs exhaust on it. It's really nice. It is really really nice. It sounds bad, you know. It just sounds bad. It's just great saw. So I promise you guys, I'm really good operator on this lift, and I'm able to use like, you know, my fingers and do all kind of yoga with my fingers to get this thing moving as fast as possible. But you know, it's just this thing is kind of weird. It's not at my index finger, it's just below my index finger. The last button to the right there has a red light below it, and there goes. You see? There's the red light. So here the wind is just man, it's gusting and it's just becoming problematic. So I'm doing kind of like a reverse half hitch bowline um, variation here. Because I want the actual termination to be below that point, but I want the rope to be up higher all at the same time. Just in case it breaks or something like that, you know, as I mentioned before, there was some included bark beyond that point. I don't think it's going to break, but to be safe. There it is, man. All of what, 25, 30 feet there? That branch is long, boy. Long, man. Holy smokes. Look at that. It's just a big, burly red oak here, man. Love it. Let's click that. Yeah, the battery died right when I was about to cut that branch. So now we're here at the top. And this is the moment where I effed up. Y'all about to see the F up right now. Look at this. Okay, so wind's moving pretty good, right? Time points behind me, about on a diagonal behind me, and it's basically set to ride my neck right now. Right? So this gust of wind kind of pulls it towards me all at the same time, right? So I'm expecting it to, yeah, so there it is. So it was really quick. Rode the rope for a little bit, and the damage that it caused, just that little instant, right? Really just screwed me up. Totally screwed me up. Screwed with my existence, man. Like, what the hell, man? Yeah, so there it is, guys. For those of you guys who were sticking around to watch it, that's about where it happens, and it came and it went. It was freaking fast. So I'm there touching it, trying to see if there's blood, because it feels like an open wound, and it's burning like hell, and it was just totally uncomfortable, right? I'm sweaty. There's dust. What else? And it's burning because I just rode the rope for a little bit. That little bit, man, caused a crap load of damage. Yeah. I was kind of expecting it to kind of just like the rope to fall between the branch, I guess the stalk of the tree there, between the stalk and the basket where I'm standing, and it just didn't work the way that I wanted to, man. And I guess I could have pointed the notch a little bit more towards the trees instead of more towards the fence. There's a lot that I could have done differently, but man, you live and you learn. I took a chance there, and I knew that there was, a fair amount of a risk here. Yeah, man, that damn scar. Where did the damn scar? It's somewhere around here. Big old scar. Can you guys see anything here? You guys will see it at the end anyway. I think there's some raw meat. Looks nasty, man. But yeah, but I got lucky that day, man. It really wasn't as bad as it should have been, and whatever. Yeah, man, but that was the last time I did something stupid like that, though, man, for sure. Yeah, so I'm still trying to like figure out here, like, how does it look? And I just kind of want to see, you know? So, yeah. How much more time left on this? Got what? About another 45 minutes, and this tree is done. Yeah, it's damn near third degree burns, man, with that freaking rope rash. It was pretty nasty. I remember I had to, gauze and put ointment on it for, I don't know, good like what, week and a half. So yeah, man, it was just annoying. And I had to go to work, can't stop working. So I guess that was the suckiest part about it. Just like the fact that you got to work injured. And working injured just freaking sucks, man. Oh, I'm over here looking at the. I'm sorry, man. So I was just kind of reading the description. Maybe I need to update my description here. Yeah, I kind of have like a generic description every time I make a video, and it kind of just applies it to each video as I post them, and so I can modify it to say something different. And I think I've made like 2 revisions um, since I've started this channel to that generic description there, but might be prudent to make another update. It's been a while. So instead of continuing all the way down with that other stick, I'm just gonna come back up here, get rid of this top, and then get it on my way down. That way I kind of do it equally, and it really works out pretty good for me this way. I do this especially like, well, not really even pruning, but like any kind of anything in general whenever I'm climbing, because it saves me the energy from having to go all the way down just because I want to finish the cut. And instead, I can preserve that energy and just whenever I get down to that point, because I'm working on other stuff in the same area at that same height, it makes a lot of sense to leave it for later. For me, at least. So this is what I love about this Omni block. Like you just take it apart. It's not big and bulky like your typical traditional block. I think I end up laying this one right across the boom of that lift there. It's just like screwed up, and then I screwed up again. It's just like, why? I really should have just came down and let Johnny go back up and finish it. But I don't know. I think I was just kind of full of pride, and I was just like, man, I'm not coming down. I really wanted to finish the tree, and we end up just taking off the all the branches from it and leaving the stick. We come back for the stick the following day. Yeah, so you see that notch there? It's headed directly. So you see me there, I'm trying to correct it. And I don't know how well this correction is but yeah, like as I'm saying, it's gonna go directly for that boom. And I should have steered it a little bit, I could have steered it from the doggone boom there, but look at that. Crap. Like this is, no good, man. Fail, and then it's like another fail. And it's just like, dude, when are you gonna stop? When are you gonna stop the crap? And so I've had a few other videos in this same at the same job, but this is the one where I'm just screwing up like left and right. The other ones just went without a hitch. It just went so smoothly, and here I'm just oh. Yeah. So that was another issue, right? So with this trainee down here, and for those of you new guys to roping or whatever, you gotta be like you gotta like kind of be looking at the climber, the person in the tree, in the bucket, in the lift, and be paying attention for when a branch is tied off. And that's what this guy always neglected to do. And so then we always had the issue that we're ready, we're already tied on, we're ready to cut, and my dude is just standing there waiting for direction. And so then that was the issue, that whenever that guy's waiting for direction, you kind of lose your workflow. There's a gap, and at some point the person down at the bottom, the ground guy, the guy who's being trained on the rope, needs to be like, hey, you know what? I get it now. This is what I have to do. A plus B equals C. Like, I'm kind of being an ass about it, but seriously, it's very simple stuff, and I'm so surprised how there's a lot of people out there who just they don't. I don't know. That doesn't really. They don't get it. I don't know if it's they don't get it. I don't know if it's that they're just like checking out mentally, like they're not really there. I'm not sure, man. Do you guys have these issues? I guess the reason why I would be knocking myself Billy is because it's just like um I don't know, man. I like to work at a I like to work at a high level, and sometimes I fall short of it, and it sometimes it helps to point it out, like, just call it, and then you deal with it and you move on. And yeah, I guess that's another part of this video for me personally, like just kind of putting it, very vulnerable to all my supporters, my viewers, showing them like, hey man, I screwed up like royally on this day. And so whenever somebody else screws up or whatever, so that others don't beat themselves up too much about it, it'd be like, hey, yeah, you know what? I may have screwed up today, but just watching Captain Hook the other day, and he was all types of soup sandwich. So these two sticks here are actually pretty close in proximity to one another. Um, and that other top over to the left, that's still, the one that you guys could see. Um, that one is a bit further away. So I decided that I'm going to take these two here down um, together and then deal with that other side afterwards. I think that was the idea here. Yeah, so Billy, you actually make a good point, man. Like your mind wanders a lot, and like I mean that's not something unique to yourself, I guess everyone's mind wanders a lot, especially like when you're working. We're all mind wandering, kind of doing our own thing, but at the same time, we recognize we're part of a team, and that we want to, we don't want to become a burden to anybody else or to the work process. And so then that's the idea I'm getting at. Like it's beyond the mind wandering. It's kind of more like, you know, get with the team, man. We're doing this together, and it's not like the trainee. We've spoken to him about this numerous times, like almost daily, and it wasn't anything new. Um, Not something that we haven't spoken of, and so yeah, it was just becoming, just a common thing, and yeah. From an efficiency standpoint, I guess, like we just wanted to kind of be more in tune with one another, and so like I mean I wouldn't get pissed off about it, you know what I mean? But I sometimes there were times when I was like, in my zone and kind of just trying to get this, the thing done, not quickly, but like I felt like I was just kind of moving at a different pace than my ground guy was down at the bottom. And for the most part, I actually kind of felt like that all the time. He just wasn't. He wasn't there in terms of like him mind wandering, but like he just wasn't there at all. Like I don't know what the hell he had going on. I know he had some issues, man. So I know that played it, a fair amount into his actions or whatnot. But at some point, there's we gotta get together, man. And here goes the next log, man. This was actually momentous for me because these were going really nicely. And given that I've been, you know, pretty rough around the edges up until this point, these were coming out good, man. So they kind of boosted me up a little bit. Oh yeah, so if you guys want to see some nasty scar later, that from that rope rash, it's like at the very end of the video. If you guys want to see, I don't know if y'all into that, but like, yeah, it's not pretty, that's for sure. What? Billy says, I remember noticing a tree, then stand there for a minute. My partner will yell, "Are you gonna cut that tree down today?" Like, yeah, man, totally. I totally get it. Like, sometimes I'll just be up in the tree, just kind of ruminating on what I'm gonna do. Like, if I'm gonna do it this way, I'm gonna do it that way, or I'm just kind of, you know, just chilling, I guess. I don't know. It's funny, man. And I guess you're right too, man. Kind of goes both ways. Sometimes I'll be on some BS, just not having a good day. So yeah, I'm not trying to like bash my grounding down there either, but just kind of bring up some points here. Sometimes we'll do that. But we gotta, you know, can't do it all the time. It can't be like a common thing. So this log that I'm gonna cut here is actually pretty hefty. I mean, as far as like forces go and everything, it's gonna be a heavy load. Here we go with another. All right. So I guess on the replay, you guys are gonna get ads. You guys are gonna get to see ads within the video that has ads, right? So this is gonna get posted, this video here, but then it's also gonna have ads. And you guys are seeing in video ads, you get me? So it's like, sorry, man. You know, um, I do, I I slightly benefit from the ad revenue, so I gotta have the ads. Sorry. Yeah, I've actually, in terms of ad revenue, I think I've been at like a monthly low. I think last month, I think I might have made like, or 2 months ago, it was like $30, something like that. It was just like the lowest amount that I've made on YouTube in like the longest time. in a long time. And it's pretty much just because I haven't been posting videos. And yeah, it's just kind of, I guess this is kind of one of those things, man. Like whenever your channel's not that popular, you got to keep posting videos in order for you to keep the ad revenue up. It's really like, it's really some BS. And I feel like YouTube throttles my videos. It pisses me off. Cause like, for instance, there'll be a trend on a video where it's in like a few days, it'll get like 1,000, maybe 2,000 views or something like that. And then there's no more views after that. Like the trend doesn't continue. Like if you have this much energy behind a video, right? It only makes sense for you to predict like, okay, so this is like an exponential trend. This thing is freaking taking off. So like I expect it to keep climbing. And no, YouTube doesn't like continue to share the video. It's just, it's like, it's mind warping. I don't know how to explain it, man. But yeah, enough of my complaining about YouTube algorithms. So around this time in my career, this video, by the way, is from about like, when did I film this? Must have been in 2021. Yeah, this was about 2 years ago. So compared to today, my style has changed a little bit from this slight deviations. And at this point in my career, I was using kind of like the pulleys all along the trunk and everything. If I have them, I will use them. But lately I haven't been doing that just because I don't have enough pulleys and rings to be using, all along the trunk, and then just kind of like a multi-purpose one where I just carry it around with me and throughout the tree, So yeah, I would like to have some more, but until I do, probably not going to be using this technique too often. The one thing I would say about this though is that whoopee slings and ultra slings are fantastic, and I would just kind of space them out a bit further apart from one another to spread the force. Yeah, you spread the force. That's the point of it, to kind of spread the force throughout the tree. And if possible, creating compression into the stem. So how would I explain that? I would have to draw it out. I'm not going to draw it right now. Do I get more revenue? So I think so. So if people are watching the entire video, the whole ad video, yeah, I'm pretty sure like I'll make more, but it's like fractions of pennies, and those fractions of pennies add up to the whole. And so across the channel, there's probably like, I don't know what, like 18 to 20 some thousand views a month. And so you add all those fractions of pennies, and it might add up to, well, currently, I'll tell you guys right now. So this month currently there's 14.4k views, right? So 14,000 and a half views this month, and that so far has gotten me $54.71. So yeah, not that great, not bad. I mean, I don't do this for the money, but it is nice. And if I were to be doing it for the money, this would be a horrible business model, man. It just would not be working out. I'd have to do something else. Yeah. There was a point where my channel was taken off, and I probably should have done a little bit more to keep that momentum. But at the time, I was kind of just stomped with work and just going through some stuff. So I didn't really have the drive nor the time, much less the time to do anything. So there goes the top, man. Finally finished the entire canopy of this tree. And now it's just moving on to that wood, that good old burning wood right there. Yeah, this wood would sell for a premium as soon as it's seasoned and split. Yeah, wood splitting, man. I remember those wood splitting days. Be splitting all throughout the winter, getting real strong, and then you come out of the winter like a beast. Spring is on and you feel good, and then summer comes by, you start getting drained. By the end of the summer, you're just like done. Because this work is seasonal, and once winter hits, I mean, it's just like blah. In terms of work, it's done. There's no work. But you gotta love it, man. Look at this. Ultra Sling. This is the Ultra Sling. Check this out. It doesn't have any, you can't really tie it down like you would a whoopee sling, but you can kind of leave that. You see how you stick it through there, through the hole? You put the block through the hole and you kind of position it towards the back in order to take up some of that slack, So we do have a utility line there. And I'm cutting this thing long. This was actually a long branch. Log, I should say, not branch. It's definitely not a log. Omni block? Are you serious? Which one is it though? Is it the mini Omni block or is it the large? Let me see what you're talking about. Bartlett Arborist Supply. Bartlett Arborist Supply. Omni Black. Yeah, you're about 20 bucks off. A lot like Vegas, but I don't know, man. Let me see. This is a 1.5 inch rock. Yeah, so that's the mini one, man. The mini one is, it's okay, but you really need the big boy. like the 2.6 inch. I don't know which one it is. It might be the 2.6 inch. I know that it was like the biggest Omni block that we're using here in this video, and that's the most expensive one. It's like alone it's $225. But I guess if you're just doing like some like I guess medium to light rigging, you could get away with this small pulley here, the small Omni block, and it's lighter too, so you can carry it around, easy to carry around in the tree. So that's definitely an advantage. So for 145, I think that might actually be worth it. Um, see what is it rated for? Loads up to 8,000 pounds. Yeah, you'd have to be careful with that one. Cause yeah, 8,000 pounds, like that's in force, right? But like if you have a 500-pound force, a 500-pound log, I guess you wouldn't really load it up with 500-pound log anyway. Nah, yeah, you know what? This might actually work. Yeah, don't look bad, man. Especially for like a in tree rigging anchor. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. I like your idea a lot. Like Vegas, that Omni block might make sense. I've used it like a few times when I was at Davy. I had one. Yeah, my groundy here, man. He's so tired, and it was a hot day. That was one of the hottest days. Yeah, Barbados, you're right, man. I mean, it's a lot that goes into the forces, especially like so like distance. Like, are you is it going to be a static load? Is it going to be some kind of a negative rig where instead of having an entry anchor and then tying something off, you have the anchor above you and then you tie it, versus doing a negative rig where you have your anchor point below what you're cutting. That's gonna create greater forces. I mean, a 500-pound log at that point is um, it's a few thousand pounds, or at least 1,000 pounds. It triples, maybe quadruples the weight. I'm looking up a log impact force calculator. Oh, check this out. This is cool. Yeah, so there's a log impact calculator that you guys can take a look at. It's actually like a little wheel that you can buy that allows you to calculate them. So Barbados has it, man. Holy smokes. 250 times 3 plus 750. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, 250. That sounds about right, Barbados. You're right, man. So that's a 4 times. You're multiplying that force by 4 times, essentially, right? Because your calculation is your calculation doesn't say 250 times 4, but it's essentially multiplying by 4 times. And so, yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. And I'm pretty sure that the relationship is sort of, well, I was going to say exponential, but it's not. It almost feels that way, though, because for a 500-pound log, then you would be 5 times 3, 1,500. Plus 500. So you're what, looking at 2,000 pounds? Times the feet it falls. I got you. Yeah, so 250 times the feet it falls. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to look into how to calculate this stuff and maybe make a video on it, because this is actually really interesting. Um, Really interesting concept here. So the feet that it falls is the feet, in terms of like a negative rigging. Say it's gonna fall 3 feet. Like, that's a lot, though, right? Um, I usually don't set a rigging point, for a negative rig, 3 feet underneath it, maybe like a foot. But yeah, it's a lot. Um, yeah, man. No, yeah, Barbados, you're right. I was actually just gonna point that out, that letting it run, and then also there is the concept of like the more rope you have in the system, the less force you generate on the rigging points themselves. And then, on top of that, like letting it run. And then, the types of friction devices you're using, like for example, like the safe block. I know that safe block helps a lot. Okay, so here you go. So, warning. There it is. It's like a third-degree burn, man. It's absolutely disgusting. It's nasty. Look at that nasty burn, man. Goodness, excuse my language, guys. Yeah, guys. So I'll make a quick note here about a rigging video and try to come up with like good research. Look up some good articles. Stuff that has actual good research, not no bullcrap. Kind of reference maybe some videos, some good ones, right? But also trying to. I don't have a pencil around here. Yeah. Make a note here on my computer. Couldn't find a pen. Rigging force video. Awesome. Okay, so I got a note here, guys, and I'll be posting a video here for you all in the future. I don't know when. All right, so like I yeah, man. Yeah, man. So Barbados, man, you make some really good points, man, and good points because you know they are. I mean, you're talking about forces that are gonna impact lives, you know, potentially impact lives. But I've also learned that putting too much thought into that isn't necessarily going to help because at one point we're going to have to like work within a certain limit, and that limit is subjective. It's subjective to you. Like what you're comfortable rigging is going to be different than what I'm comfortable rigging, and at different points in time we're going to want to rig heavier versus what I would say like, hey man, don't rig so heavier. Or I might even say, no, rig heavier than what you're about to do. You know, so like there's like that subjective thing, but objectively speaking, like yeah, like you should have some kind of a sense of what your equipment is capable of, and within a system, its limitations and all, because it's totally helpful to you, to everyone around you, just to the safety of everything, and then you kind of cut down on your losses that way long term. So yeah, man, your head's in a good place. Yeah, and I agree, Barbados. We generally speaking, man, natural crotch rigging is very common. I mean, I'm lately I've been using natural crotch rigging. That's pretty much my go-to. But there are times when um, I'll stick a rope in a tree. Like I'll get a throw line into a tree and then bring it down, tie on a block or something like that, and with a rope into it. You know what I mean? And so then you have like this kind of suspended rigging system. It's kind of cool. Um, just sometimes I'll do that because I wouldn't want to climb one tree just to put a rope in it and then take down another one adjacent to it. And so that's kind of like what I'm getting at. Um, so yeah, yeah, exactly. A lot like Vegas, more rope, more stretch. That's right, more stretch, man. And that's why rigging ropes are pretty important to use. Some dynamic stuff. That stuff's usually pretty bouncy, um, relatively speaking. You know, with types of weights that they're designed to take. So basically, weight of log fall times falling distance plus. Yeah, that you're right a lot like Vegas, but you're also there's another thing, like you got to add the rope in the system. I think that's another thing that I learned. So yeah, there's the weight, the falling distance, and then you're adding the weight of the log back into the product of the two. So the product of weight and falling distance, right? You're adding the weight back into it. But I would also say that you have to add in, you have to account for that, the rope, the amount of rope that's in the system, along with like rope stretch and all that. So that kind of gets more into the weeds of it all. And that's why this subject is actually one that is hard to digest, because it's just so there's just too many factors. There's a lot of variables that you can change, and it'll change the entire thing. Like you'll get one answer versus another answer where all you did was just change one thing, like rope distance or falling distance, amount of rope in the system, the type of rope you used. Yeah, the type of tree that you're climbing in, because, maybe you're climbing, for instance, what is something that's pretty flimsy. So for instance, like, I feel like tulip trees are pretty bouncy, man. Like they feel like noodles. Even when they're big and thick, they still feel like noodles. It's just so weird climbing tulips. I'm so new to them. But whenever I'm climbing a tulip, I feel like the tree itself is actually taking a lot of the force of what I'm rigging, especially when I'm negative rigging and everything. So yeah, there's the force of the system itself, like isolating the rope, the Porter app, and your pulley or whatever, your rigging rings, all of that. And then the tree itself is also absorbing some of that force, and it's usually something pretty amazing. Pretty often I'm doing something absolutely insane with ropes, with rigging rings especially. I love rigging rings. They're, I just feel like they're cheap, and I guess for your return on investment, they're one of the greatest. It's like at the top of my list, rigging rings. Although pulleys do help, there are times when I need pulleys. But yeah, vector forces change with the angle. Exactly. Yes. So now you're talking about vectors. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. No, man. The vectors. It's basically, what is it? I don't want to say. It's basically taking your angles into consideration, and then you split them down the center, which kind of gives you the vector. I forget what the vector is. It has to do with magnitude of the force, direction, vectors. What are vectors? Yeah, so they have a magnitude, a direction, and it's basically just like, it looks like some trig, and you get a resulting vector. And the way I think about it is just basically you split the angle. So if you have a right angle here, and you have a force going, I don't know, how would you say? I don't know how to explain it. We'll have to do this another time, guys, because right now I'm out of time. Thank you guys for stopping by, though. I really appreciate you guys for the support, and for tagging along in the video, and for all the interaction down in the chat, man. You guys are awesome. Appreciate it, man. Till next time, y'all.